Today we're speaking to the CEO of Livestock Wealth, Ntuthuko Shezi, who is on the line following the conclusion of a 2-year investigation by the Financial Sector Conduct Authority. This is an investigation we can trace back to the year 2024, and it examined the company's business model and dealings with investors and how they formally concluded with no findings of unlawful activity and no misappropriation of funds. That is the conclusion by the law. And it's been a very challenging period for the company. It's been a challenging period for everyone involved, actually, the farmers and the investors alike. So today we're going to unpack what this particular outcome means for Livestock Wealth, I beg your pardon, and how trust is being rebuilt following what has been concluded. So just for context, Livestock Wealth is a South African-based crowd farming platform that basically enables individuals to invest in agricultural assets such as cattle, macadamia trees and crops without actually needing to farm experience. A very novel idea, I think, and it was founded over 10 years ago. 2015 was when it was founded, and it acts as a walking bank, if you will, okay, allowing investors to buy livestock and crops which are managed by farmers, and then they receive a profit when the assets are sold or harvested, as it were. So that is the story of Livestock Wealth. A pleasure to have Ntuthuko Shezi joining me on the line. Laba, welcome to the show. Thank you very much for joining us.
Matsaho, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. I think a good place to start perhaps is how you were personally affected or how you personally, sort of received the news by the FSCA following the investigation, and what this official conclusion then means for Livestock Wealth.
I think first and foremost, the initial feeling was that of relief, where really after such a long time, it really felt great to really actually put closure to a period of uncertainty. I think for me, during this time, we lost a lot of good staff members because if you're trading under a cautionary, your sales drop. In our case, our sales drop over 90%.
Right.
So we had to lose a lot of our good staff. So when this outcome came, all those emotions came back, and it was quite surreal.
Right. Perhaps let's also look at the findings of this report, and maybe you can explain to us, because the report confirms that there was no misappropriation of investor funds at any given time. So why is this finding so important, and what led to the investigation to begin with?
The FSCA initially, if you read their initial press release, they came up with an assumption that if someone buys a cow on our platform, then that actually is a financial product, which would then mean that we were operating without a license. So if someone is selling investments or insurance or any financial product as defined by the Financial Phase Act, Financial Administration and Intermediary Act. So if someone trades without those specific licenses and correct categories, then they are contravening the law. So really what then happened is, I think they jumped the gun and and went big on the press. And then I think we all know that we had hoped that they would finish their investigation really quickly, but then there were delays on their end. And then, but then what we then found is that 2 years later, they came back and said, no, what Livestock Wealth is doing, which is selling agricultural products, does not constitute a financial product, therefore does not fall under the umbrella of regulation by them, which surprisingly is something that they had known since 2015, because in 2015 we were the
Yeah.
first to approach them and asked to be regulated. And they said, no, we don't regulate cattle and agricultural products. So it was really it felt like a merry-go-round in a way, in that they knew in 2015 that what we're doing is not a financial product. Then they tell us again in 2025 or 2026 rather, exactly the same thing that they knew 10, 11 years ago.
Okay. Oh, it's been such a journey, and I think what was so disheartening is starting to see people that were fearing that the company is running some sort of Ponzi type scheme, which is obviously not the case, and we know that now, and it has legally been proven that it is not. That's not the case. But how
Sure.
damaging has that perception been for Livestock Wealth, and how are you going to shift the perception? Because I would imagine after such a big 2-year trial and error that you're going to have to move into a new era, into a new way of shaping how you do business going forward.
Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, it definitely was challenging. As I've said, one from a sales point of view,
Right.
in that where we would normally sell, I'm making an example, R1 million in sales. Now we're selling 100,000 rand in a month. So then that really puts a lot of pressure in us. But we had to use our ingenuity. The beauty of having started from scratch with passion is being able to do what you're doing with no money. So we were able to really reduce our costs. We reduced our staff complement, we reduced our marketing, and we said, okay, let's just wait out the storm, which was an expensive exercise, definitely, to wait out the storm. And then I think really the one thing that I always say is that in any business, if you understand the purpose of why you're doing what you're doing, that helps in being able to survive, such trialing times, like that. So like really being steadfast and staying true to our purpose, to say we created this company so that we can end inequality and allow
Right.
anyone in Africa to be able to invest and own assets that they understand. Because it's pointless us telling people to invest in stocks and shares and bonds, things that are foreign to them. But if you talk cattle, if you talk owning farmland, it's things that they understand. So we then, just staying true to that vision and being unshaken in the midst of opposition, really, I think that really has helped us to to outlive the storm. And then even more importantly, it really becomes a guiding light for us to face the future and say, okay, where are we going? Where are we going? How are we going to dust ourselves off and get back on the horse?
Absolutely. That is very important, and that shows resilience, I guess, from your part. Okay, so this is us in conversation with Ntuthuko Shezi in his capacity as the CEO of Livestock Wealth, which is a South African-based crowd farming platform that gives individuals an opportunity to invest in agricultural assets. We're talking cattle, we're talking macadamia nut trees, etc. So we're talking following the conclusion of a very heavy legal case with the FSCA and the fact that the case has now been concluded and there has been no misconduct that has been found through the company. So we're starting on a clean slate, okay, with Livestock Wealth. Still on the line with the Chief Executive Officer of Livestock Wealth, Ntuthuko Shezi, following a just concluded case, a 2-year investigation by the Financial Sector Conduct Authority, which has given Livestock Wealth a clean legal bill, if you will, okay, if I could use that language. But here we are. The investigation has been concluded formally, and the findings of unlawful activity and misappropriation of funds are now no longer in existence or in an investigation, as it were. Ntuthuko, a lot of farmers and investors obviously relied on Livestock Wealth. So what mechanisms or what methodology did you use during the 2-year period to continue to support these spaces, because that is basically the framework of why Livestock Wealth exists in the first place?
Yeah, so the beauty with what we do at Livestock Wealth is that the farm operations continued as normal. You know, if you were to go to a farm, you would see tractors plowing, you would see cattle grazing, you would still see all those, the engine room, which is the business, the actual business, what we're doing, that really continued unaffected. You know, so I think that's the beauty of our business, you know, in that when someone buys a car, that's 95% of those funds go to the farmer, and 5% then is our commission as Livestock Wealth. So then the farmer keeps producing, keeps looking after the cattle, keeps looking after the macadamia trees. If it's citrus, the citrus farm still keeps operating. Like, for example, like in the last 2 years, our citrus farm has gone from just brand new, being just purchased, to being the biggest black exporter of citrus in South Africa. And last year we exported about 74,000 cartons of oranges and lemons and grapefruits to about 5 countries, Canada being one, South and other Middle East countries being more. And then this year, for example, we're starting harvesting on the 9th. Our lemons are all going to the EU, which is the European Union countries, your France, etc. So the beauty with our work is that it's not like come see your cow, come to the farm and talk to the staff and see the produce, the trees. You know, that's the beauty about crowd farming, the way that we've done it, in that we really built the railway tracks, which are indestructible, in that for anyone anywhere in the world, they can jump on a flight if they're overseas, jump on a car, you know. So that's the beauty with what we've done, and I think that's the long-lasting legacy that we're gonna continue on as well. And over the last 2 years, that's exactly what we've done. We've just had to obviously keep a very, very conscious check on costs and almost everything with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that we are lean as we can. So that really has been the journey for the last 2 years.
Okay, well, that's wonderful to note that the work continues, you know, beyond the challenges. And you mentioned earlier in the segment that, you know, your mission speaks to ending inequality and transforming access, especially when it comes to agricultural assets, as it were. So let's look at the new chapter now. Okay, we've closed the legal chapter, and it's a new era for Livestock Wealth. What can you say now to anyone who is still cautious around whether to invest, you know, or not in Livestock Wealth? What would you say to the fact that you are, possibly working on strengthening that mission of really getting people involved in livestock wealth, and how people can now be part of this crowd farming platform as we know it.
Yeah, I think we, having gone through the 2-year process with the FSCA, I think we are the only company out there that can say we've been FSCA tried, tested, and passed. I think we're the only ones.
Right.
And I think to everyone who's saying, "Hey, am I in the right place?" You definitely are in the right place, because the regulators. I think compared to everyone else, they had access to every part of our systems, every part of our business, every part that you can imagine, bank accounts, everything. So, and they saw and they proved for themselves, and this is a good, properly run business, which is really the part that we are most proud of. So we're proud of that, and we thank our existing investors who for the last 10 years have been there with us and walking the journey with us. So we're even more excited that the next chapter will see more new investors, will see more new offerings that we're doing. But
nice.
Our key focus really going forward is producing items in South Africa that can be exportable for being able to earn in hard currency, whether it's US dollars or euro, rather than being focused on producing things for the local market. So I think that is what is our key focus. That's in this case we will be adding more farms of citrus farms as well, where people can be part owners of those farms, and then we also looking at other exportable crops as well that can form into that basket as well, like avocado. Avocado is a big export driver from South Africa to the world. So we're looking to do that as well. So in a nutshell, really, our growth story is that of saying, okay, we are South African, born and bred, but producing food for the world. I think that for us is going to be a differentiator, and that is able to earn us the income which is in proper currency, which really helps from a profitability point of view of our business model, and it also helps the profitability of the farms that we run and partner with, and that then translates back to the investor in terms of their return on investment. Then their return on investment does not have any hiccups or any battles, because farming is tough. The South African agriculture market is not the easiest one to participate in. But if you have an outside looking outlook, then it becomes much clearer. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, I mean, livestockwealth.com, okay? If you really want to find out more about how investing in crowd farming actually works, it would be a wonderful exercise if you go on the website and check out some investment options, but also, I think very importantly, how the space is governed, how farmers are involved, because their tagline is you buy, they farm, and then you profit. So you can get more information on livestockwealth.com. Ntuthuko, all the best for 2026. I'm sure when we have a conversation, we will talk about, dividends and how you've managed to increase beyond 100 million in investments. Thank you very much, and congratulations, I guess, on winning the case.
Thank you, Ntuthuko. Really appreciate you having me. Thank you, and goodbye to listeners.